We are ready to share with sound. Before I do all this nonsense, I should probably hit record. Oh, I am recording. Cool. All right. Yep.
Amazing.
Wow.
Professionals, people.
What a great start this episode's going to have.
Right.
Thanks, everyone, for staying with us this long.
Welcome to Everyone Racers,
a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing
and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of Limit Champ or Lucky Track Dog League you run.
SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate.
As long as you drive it hard and build it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussions,
tips and tricks, as well as news and notes
from the world of amateur endurance racing.
And whether it's on the spot, hella sweet when we're lucky enough, and Chrissy.
And I give you just the tip.
We're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
And I'm actually Erik, not El Jefe.
And I'm Mental.
That's great. And we're Everyone Racers. Welcome to a Y Block episode of our podcast. It's episode 292. The Ford 292 is the longest lived of the Y Blocks, called that because of their deep skirting caused the engine block to resemble a Y. Y blocks were used to replace the flathead V8, used in the U.S. from 1955 until 1962 in cars and 1964 in trucks. It also lived until the 1980s in Argentina Fords. Who knew? Now cruising in your Pico Thunderbird V8? Well, try our non-skirted version of the E1R bingo card. Probably could use an overhaul. We should put that on our to-do list.
Skirtless. Even better.
What? Sure.
I said it's skirtless. Even better.
Skirtless. Got it. It is skirtless. Okay. What you working on? Mental. What you working on?
I finally actually found a little bit of time and combined with some mobility. So I went and changed the oil and rotated the tires on the Miata and got my sample all boxed up to share with Blackstone Labs and start a file on the car. I was on a new episode of Do or Die, posted that on our Instagram today, talking about the 914 that I've mentioned before. And it was birthday weekend with the missus. So we went to her favorite restaurant. Then we wandered around downtown for a bit. And then Sunday went and did our normal Sunday morning date and just kind of hung out. So it was a nice, relaxing weekend.
Lovely.
Sounds nice. Sounds just like our weekend.
Yeah, sure. How do you like the 914? Now, you've had it for 2 weeks. Does it meet all of your expectations of various levels?
Yes, which were admittedly very low. But no, it's still a fun little car. Yeah, I'll talk about it on the show. Shifting it's like moving a spoon around in mashed potatoes. It fanatically marks its spot whenever I park at someplace. And I can't open the doors from the outside right now, but ideally I'll get to all that kind of stuff. But it's a goofy little charming, ugly dog that it's just so darn happy to be here.
That's good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
So I guess I should, so I
throw
normally we go
here
through an order, but I'm going to go with Erik because I see something that interests me. This is pertinent to my interests. Erik, tell me, DJ 914, what are you working on?
Well, I did a little racing. I did a little theming. I did a little all sorts of awesome stuff that we'll talk more about. But I just today received back a 914 transmission, which had been recently rebuilt by Dr. Evil. And it previously had a long history of trying to get delivered, being rejected, sent back to the order, coming back here and finding out that the entire bell housing had been sheared off it because apparently the FedEx guys love to drop things like that off of 8-feet trucks. And now we finally have it back. So now I'm almost ready to mate that together, get the car here and put it all together to get this car out of my life, back to its owner, and I can get out of that business and start working on my own cars, which is what I want to do.
Serves you right for helping a friend. Gosh.
It's been about 25 times more effort than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Which is about accurate with any car project, which is about right. Yeah.
How it always works.
But I have that sheared bell housing upstairs as a trophy. I'll send pictures sometime.
Wonderful.
One
you
of
need
these
a
times
shared bell
it's-
housing.
Yeah.
Contact
Get a hold of-
Erik.
Yeah, get a hold of DJ 914. I have a folder of smart ass things that one day I'm going to post on our Instagram, and I've been going through some of them. One of them about the Simpsons episode being closer to the moon landing than it is to today, which was met with the, annoying stuff. But this one, as soon as you said FedEx, this is a FedEx smart aleck thing that I've seen there.
This is a FedEx.
We threw it in the fucking creek.
Yep. That is the FedEx tracking that it says for it. We threw it in the creek. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's about right.
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay.
So Chris, how about you? Why don't you tell us what you did all weekend?
We did some race prep, and then we did some driving, and then some racing, and then some fixing, and then some driving, and then cleaning up. That's about it.
Ditto.
Yep.
We'll just do that. That's exactly what I did. Yep.
Fantastic.
Let's move on. Oh goodness, sorry.
Wow. Hey, so are you planning on a hella sweet tax rebate with your new EV or hybrid this year? Yeah, I bet you are. Well, hey, you know what? Better double check, because Stephen Colesmith at Haggerty has the list from the Treasury Department. Among the not eligible, the Audi Q5 e-Quattro plug-in hybrid, the BMW 330e and X5 plugins, Rivians, Nissan Leafs,
multiple Leafs,
right? Whatever they are.
Yep.
Volvos, and the Volkswagen ID4. Why? Well, the tax credit applies to vehicles within a certain price range, North American assembled and sourced, recycled or refined as batteries here as well. $7,500 for the full benefit, half that for partial. So that's very specific on what it has to be. And I bet there are a couple people out there who are going to be bummed they're not getting that $7,500 rebate.
Chrissy, I don't see the Taycan on that list, so you still need to get one.
Good. No problem. That's going to sell me on it. Also, I had heard this multiple times on the news, but I had not seen the actual list or heard the actual list. And it's a pretty big list.
Like no one really knew the list, and now someone had to actually go and figure it out. And supposedly it's going to change again fairly soon, from what I understand.
Probably because there's an uproar because people are, well, I don't know if the government cares.
It's too late. Well, that's what you get for buying the car, saying, well, I hope there's going to be a tax rebate that's going to apply.
That's what you get for trusting the government. They employ me and have for 3 decades. You're an idiot.
Yes.
Nothing else I can add to that. Okay.
Yeah, mic drop. Okay.
Well,
moving on. Normally teachers are trustworthy folks, but who try to do the right thing. There are some exceptions, and Lawrence Hodge at Jalopnik tells us about one particularly shady one. Gregory Ditch, an automotive teacher at Naperville High School in Illinois, was overseeing an all-girls student group who had built a race truck. Their goal was to compete in the Texas Mile, a land speed record competition held twice a year near Victoria, Texas. En route to the competition, the truck broke. So he hopped on Turo and rented a new Supra from Giovanni Morales. When it was returned to him, the tires and brakes were used up, and he was claiming $4,000 in damages. Ditch is claiming he uses a different Supra. Link in our notes.
This story has
excuse.
Yeah, this story has all sorts of questions. All sorts of questions.
Just say it wasn't you. Just say it wasn't you. That's it.
Run away.
Watch is our hardworking and absent Jeff and Donnie suddenly lean into their radios, because in the ever-evolving battle of Sheetz versus Wawa, the Altoona, Pennsylvania-based chain just fired a big salvo. Lemon's judge Aaron Cole, who also occasionally is an editor over at The Drive, tells us that the chain will sell E85 fuel for a mere $1.85 a gallon until the end of April. Now, Aaron cautions that you need to make sure your car can use it, or you'll be spending a lot of money replacing parts. Now, the easiest way to tell is if your factory gas cap is yellow. If it is not, it is best to avoid the 85% ethanol blend that gives the fuel its name. But if you're running a tuned or forced induction system, you can have a lot of fun, which is why a lot of those guys like that. Koenigsegg, Dodge Demons, and a lot of other flex fueled applications run the organic-ish blend, which functions in those forced because it really does like compressions. But
it's really high octane. That's why.
Is very high in octane. Not mocking my co-host, but I've spent some time in that part of the world and around that mid-Atlantic area. And this is what I predict for the future. A lot of future Facebook marketplace listings with the words needs fuel pump.
Uh-huh.
No, it's full pump.
Full pump.
Fuel pump.
Needs full pump. It always needs full pump.
I mean,
And
it's
a
so-
Manuel transmission.
but
It
it's
ran when
so-
parked.
but
Just needs
it's
a full
so
pump.
cheap.
Yeah. That's what you get for
Sure.
going to
No,
Sheetz anyway.
no title bill of
Right.
sale, but you can easily get one from the DMV.
Shoot.
Totally.
Excuse
Oh,
me.
well.
Okay, we always talk about great classified sections of racingjunk.com, but lest we forget that there are many other interesting things on this site. For one, they have a bunch of interesting events. Unfortunately, none of those that are listed right now are close to us, but that doesn't mean they aren't close to you. So there's drag racing, there's rallies, there's car shows, there's swap meets, and there's some events that are just a mix of those, and then there's more. I'm sure that you are going to have a weekend coming up that you have the family around, don't want them sitting in the house playing video games. Go check out a local event near you. And if nothing else, you probably see some cool cars, eat a corn dog, and an ice cream cone. Racing Junk has all the things to fill all of your time.
Well, if you can get a corn dog, that's got to be a quality place to go.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't make guarantees that there's a corn dog, but
Oh, well. I mean, that
I-
should have been important. You should have called. Say, excuse me, do you have corn dogs?
A lot of the car
Yeah.
events in Oklahoma had deep fried everything, and some of my
Uh-huh.
favorites were deep fried Twinkies or deep fried Oreos, deep fried bacon, deep fried beer. Yeah, these are all
Pickles.
deep fried pickles. Actually, yes, these are all quality events at a lot of these things. Yeah, just get your folks out of the house, get your kids out of the house,
never
let them
know.
see something shiny and chrome.
right? It
Now,
doesn't have to be.
Is that the official food of Oklahoma? Is fried?
That
Just
feels
fried.
right. That yeah.
Okay.
Or
Probably is.
yeah, slow cooked or fried. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
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 You know
Okay.
what else you can also get on racingjunk.com is that pro membership, and it's like 50% off. And if you use pod 23, and we list all the benefits of this all the time, but you should totally do it. I mean, even if you think you're going to sell something this year, totally do it. Make us look good. Help us out.
Right? Or buy something and you might get it early. Who knows? Right?
Good time to shop for Christmas already, right?
Oh,
Christmas is coming
Yep.
quickly.
The problem is if
Totally.
you buy something large, it's a little hard to store and hide as a secret from
What's under that tarp?
somebody.
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Don't look at it till December. But it's in
I
front
feel
of it.
like for a lot of our listeners, that's actually a really good way to avoid. You order the Christmas present, it shows up with a racingjunk.com label on it, and you're like, "Oh, Daddy, car parts." Wahaha, it's your Christmas present. Which
Or
is
it's in
car
front of the lawnmower, and you're like, I need to get past that. Like, and we're like, no, it's a present. Don't look at it for another 6-8 months. No.
Uh,
Okay. Coming races. There are so many races this weekend because everybody was off for holidays and stuff. Lemons is at CMP. 62 cars, 6.5 BMWs. That's intriguing.
A little boring, but not too bad.
That's not too bad.
Pretty
One Miata, 4 Hondas, no Porsches. All of that is amazing. From Erik, some quality, weird Japanese stuff like a Starion, a Starlet, a Summit Wagon, and a 200 SX.
Excellent. Champ Car is at the new track out in the Ozarks. 28 cars, lots of room. 6 of those are BMWs. That's
Boring.
Boring.
Yeah,
Yep.
boring.
9
it's boring, but
Miatas.
that's a
Ugh.
respectable BMW ratio for Champ
I
Car.
mean,
it's
it's
a
a ton.
terrible
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
Miata
you're right.
ratio, but it's a
Good call.
great BMW ratio.
It's about 22%. That's okay. Yeah, 9 Miatas. That's bad. 1 Honda, 1 Porsche, a Malibu Classic. Excellent.
Hell yes.
A Neon, a LeBaron. That's the best choice. And an 84 GTI. All right.
Lucky Dog at the Ridge had 72 total cars.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a
20
lot of cars
which-
at this track.
20 of which, however, are BMWs. So boring.
Yeah.
11 Miatas, 6 Hondas, 4 Porsches, and a 2000 Protege and a 98 Ford Escort. Well, good luck to them.
Excellent. Some people have the right idea.
Not many.
As they sit down that half-mile long straight at the ridge in their 98 Escort. Yep, we're still going.
While the
Yep,
Boxster
still
blows
going.
by them. Yep.
Right. Yeah, the
Good luck with that.
V8 E36.
Going up that hill, that long sweeper. Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, they'll have fun.
Sure. Okay. Ready? Recent
Yeah.
results. We want to leave this here. We'll talk about
Yes,
it now.
absolutely.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay, fine.
Throw that out there, and then
I don't have to read all of
obviously-
these either. I just copied
Yeah.
them from.
Just
Obviously,
read a couple and
this
throw
is
it to somebody
the
else.
Pit Race
Sounds-
Hangover episode, but we're gonna still talk about it under recent results.
Okay, I'm going to start with what is not the boring classes. I'm going to start from the bottom. Overall win. Sometimes we don't care about who wins. This time we really cared about who won, or at least I did. But we all do actually. So the overall win, Class A, went to what they call themselves, Maybach Music Sports, in a Honda Civic. Actually, we call them CISO. We are pretty good friends with them. They own our truck, the GMC Yukon XL, and that we sold to them. We've given them a lot of parts. We've given them a lot of help. They're great people. And they've been trying for I don't know how many years to try to win. So we are very excited to see them win.
Yeah, great guys.
Car was hurting.
They've been bridesmaids so many times. They come so close. So it's really wonderful to see someone that's really putting the effort all these years to get that success. But yeah, they said that the last lap, the last couple laps, the alternator failed, and that the car actually died in pit lane. Like after they drove through past the judges, it died like at the ceremony spot. They're like, yeah, it won't start right now. So
yeah. It was blowing smoke when we saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it 3 hours before the checker, and it was blowing smoke out the back. So, and they said, didn't they say we're overfilled the oil because it was burning so much that they were hoping that would be enough? And I'm sorry. Also, so the Class A winners overall was back and forth for every lap
the whole weekend
for a while. Yeah, I mean, was it all weekend?
Pretty much.
Okay.
But it was between them and Burnt Rubber Soul, I think.
Oh, Team MI was the other one.
Team MI came in later on. Yeah, the Camry came in later.
Which
so
all
basically
three of those really good teams, like TMMI, they do a lot of behind the scenes stuff. They give things to people, and Burnt Rubber Soul, another great team. Fun people to hang out with in the paddock. That sounds like such like a great lemons race that three good teams were battling it out.
It was gripping.
Yeah.
It was watching, and you're like, there was changes all over the place. So none of those teams could sit back. They all raced very, very hard.
I think there was only a lap or two, like a lap at the end between them and TMMI, and ultimately TMMI just didn't have the fuel capacity to make it. So that was it.
It's crazy racing.
Yeah. Totally.
They should go back and listen to our episode about don't install a fuel cell. Just don't do it.
That's what CISO finally did after all these years. That's what they did,
and that's why they won.
Yeah. Because years and years ago, we had that conversation with them about don't until that is the only thing keeping you from winning. So
yeah, it's true.
They took our advice. They waited until that was what was keeping them from winning. They did it properly. They talked to Pagel. They got everything approved. It looks great. And they won.
And then they literally used up every other aspect of their car, the alternator, their blood. It sounds like there's an engine rebuild coming.
Isn't that the efficiency mark? Everything is used up at the checkered flag, right? That's how a race car should be.
Sure. They did that. Yes.
Speaking of great race cars, tell me about the Class B, because I love that car.
Class B, yay! So, and then I'll pass this out to everybody else. So, Class B went to the Aspen. So, before we even started the race, I kept telling them. So I have a coworker on this race team. He was not at the race, and so he was frantically texting everybody on the team every time something happened, which is the worst, right? And mentally, you are very
that must be
this.
like some guy like on another continent who's
right when you're who's in the car.
Connection.
What's going on? Why did that just happen?
Why did lap take so long?
That pit was too long. Oh my God, what time? What's that? Who put that time down? That's exactly what this team was doing. So
you always wonder if they're like at a funeral or like their kid's recital, with all
Yeah, this guy was in a wedding. So yeah, so he was just like had it under the, his phone under the table. And I came back to work and I said, I hope that was the best wedding of your life because you missed the best race of your life. So this team was going back and forth with other teams for this win. And they were also hurting. So there was at some point when I think I was standing at the wall when I just put Erik in, I think, or maybe Chris was standing there and they said the car's hurting. They went from mid 10s to 25s, 225, like not good, not race laps at the end of the race. So they were really hurting as well. But happily that they won. And it was great racing. They had pulled out some awesome times and overall great team. So happy to see them out of my class. That's what I said when they won the award. So
welcome to A.
pretty much.
Yeah. Class C was 4.0 and a Jeep Cherokee that is very well driven. For what I understand, those guys are all instructors, or one guy may even be or have been an IMSA driver at some point. So yeah, they wheel that thing. And
yeah, they did.
It held together this time. So good for them.
That was great.
Org choice is not without my TTs, and I really looked like it just came from a used car lot Audi TT. Like it's green. It was stock looking.
It was beautiful. Early Bauhaus style one. It's just like don't damage any of the corners on that thing because it looks so good.
Yeah, also hard to fix. So even better.
Yeah.
The Pennsylvania Sheetz versus Wawa Cup was the local award. This is the Neighborinos. They had a Scion TC. They did half of it in Wawa, half of it Sheetz. And over the course of the weekend, right, they gave people stickers and said, go put it on the car on one half or the other of the hood. And we're going to tally the votes at the end to see who wins.
It was awesome.
I tried to vote for Rudders. Those of you in Pennsylvania will find that funny.
And Turkey Hill. That was the other one.
Yep. Turkey Hill was another one that got, nope. That was Wawa pulled out the victory. As it should.
As it should. As it should. And then we had to. So Mary Harris was there judging, and she was trying to understand why one was better than the other. So of course Randy Bish was standing there, and I was standing there, and so she's asking why one is better than the other. And I said the coffee at Wawa is amazing. Their coffee bar is awesome. And Randy was like, oh yeah, it really is. And so I was like, yes. And then so Mary Harris is like, well, then go bring me some. And we all go, the closest one's really far away. And she was like, oh, okay. Next time. That was a fun theme. It worked out well.
Excellent. All right. Looks like a judge's choice was Cheap Thrills in that Cadillac Eldorado. I've seen that one. That's the white, was it the white North Star or the etc. The Eldorado touring coupe. Fantastic.
Full interior, like the door panels still on it.
Yeah.
Like the full dash, it was a luxury vehicle.
They took the springs out of the trunk, but then left everything in the trunk. If you ever try to lift the trunk in that car, it weighs like 70 pounds. And if you don't get your hand out of the way quick enough, it will like rip it off. And depending on what configuration, that's a 2-person team. I
think it was just a husband and wife that did it all weekend.
Yeah.
That was it.
And they street drive that car. As
they should.
Excellent. And it looks like the Road Mangler Cup went to the lads from the Lily Pad, and I'm going to go with boring BMW 530, but what generation 530 was it? The Shark
E39. And the fun part about that car is that in judging, it had no theme. It was a silver BMW. And Mary said, so I'm going to give you 5 laps. If you come back with a theme, I'll make it to 1 lap. So they went out and they made the lily pad hats and like a couple of random little stickers. I mean, it's some shirts. They did something at least. So, got to get the BMW people at least slightly on board.
They did better theming than other teams where they started from nothing. So I give them something.
Yeah. Yeah. Erik, you want to take a few of these? You were there.
Sure. What happened to Exorian?
Oh, I got screwed in the Ford Probe. We shared a garage with them. They were struggling here and there. And then midday Saturday, we heard there's a car on fire. They red flagged, and they burned up their entire engine bay and a lot of their wiring harness. Sad sad, but
And
Now
what are you
the
gonna do?
version of it I heard is the thing that caused the fire was not one of the 3 things they had already fixed.
Well, I hope
Probably,
not.
yep.
they were also struggling a little bit. So
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
it was a probe that a 4-cylinder probe they stuck a turbo on the front of, so that's
Always
is going to go
works.
well, right?
This is going to help us win.
Everything plastic under the hood was so melted, like fuse boxes, brake master
Oh,
cylinders.
it all looked just like one blob. Like it
and
was.
what an
it was
incredible
pretty-
smell they
it was
discovered.
disgusting.
And the thing that kind of surprised me is that I didn't see any fire system nozzles under the hood.
Me
That
neither.
might have helped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
I
a
look
shame.
for that. That is a shame. But what are you gonna do?
Oh,
Onward.
and the
What are they gonna do? They're
the
gonna go get
burn-
another probe. Is what they're gonna do because that
God.
one's done.
Right.
Yeah.
And the burn was so bad. All of the panels on the outside, you could see like the hood got so hot that it was melted on the outside too. So
Yeah.
It was gone. Heroic fix went to Project Mercur's space program, Mercur XR4 Ti. I think I didn't remember hearing the
I'm sorry. I think
specifics.
you mispronounced X-Ratty because they're listeners.
Oh, the X-Ratty. Thank you very much. Good call. They had just many different problems, but they kept coming back, and they wheeled it well. So
I think
I
they
think
they
they-
hit a wall
hit the
at
wall.
some point.
that's true. 4-wheel
Quite-
spin and right in.
Yeah, quite hard. That damaged a whole bunch of the suspension, and that was mostly custom. This thing's kind of a wide body, and apparently they got it back together. So, yeah,
Yep.
that was Sunday, I think.
I think so. Well,
Yeah. So
I don't remember.
I think they hit the wall on Sunday. I think it was a pretty good turnaround, and whenever they hit it, they did a pretty good job putting it back.
Yep. And then the last one, eBay Motors Halloween meets gasoline trophy. Went to ask us about our purity test scores with their Eclipse GT. They had a OSHA style NOSHA theme. They themed all weekend. They had their little safety vests on. They had their clipboards. They pushed it through all weekend. They did a great job. So onward to them. There were a couple of contenders in that particular trophy, and I particularly liked the anti-C's guys
Me too.
because to me that was
Cheese bowl. Yep.
cheese ball. Yes, hilarious. They had that, it on their faces and everywhere. They had that, it's something we joke about, but great theming. And one of the guys was dressed up like the anti-C's guy. But
He had the little brush on a stick or in the little
the cap.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was a garbage can lid attached to a broom that had the little support. They looked great.
They wore onesies all day
Yeah.
most of the time.
They covered
so,
themselves in tempura paint. It was great.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to say on the team that won, they their checklist that they had for everything, you name it, but it was they made sure to point out that the font for that was Comic Sans. So that's always good. And they put lockout, tagout stickers on like most cars in the paddock at night. So everyone in the morning.
Yeah, so
That
they had a little
locked out, tagged
checklist, and they said if you're found in violation for these things, this is what they will take as payment to get you off their list. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they did
they
a
did a
great
good job.
job. And it was well themed, and it had layers, and they kept it going the whole time.
Yep,
So
yep.
applause
Totally.
to them. They deserve the award.
And Chrissy was going, finally, a joke that I get, and none of you, and I have to explain it to all of you losers.
Well, no, on Saturday, I guess it was Saturday when we were staying there for the drivers meeting, and that's when they started, and I was like, oh, this is cute. And then they showed me their clipboards, and they were already into theming, so it was good.
That's fantastic. And it looks like our buddy Manny, is that Manny's crew
Yeah.
that took the IOE? Fantastic.
Yeah, it was when they decided that a car with a horsepower number that has 2 digits came in like 20 something. They said, that's pretty impressive.
They are some long-standing competitors. They've done a lot of great things. They help out people constantly, and
They
a couple
do.
of them have judged too. So yeah, that's good. That's good to see. Oh,
Absolutely.
well, we're gonna get into that even more, particularly from 3 of the people's screens point of view. But right now, it's
Listener feedback.
All right, on the YouTubes, Randy B said, "Welcome to my backyard," and a couple of notes. For the love of all that is holy, stop pronouncing the T in Primanis. It's pronounced Primanis. This Primontes stuff makes it sound like a classy establishment, and the best ones are the exact opposite. He also mentioned Pitt Race North garages are the southernmost set of garages. Not that it matters, but it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, Randy specifically said I had to tell you, mental, cut it out with the frickin' T in for Manny's.
Free Manny's. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Manny's.
Sure.
Yeah,
Whatever.
exactly,
All right.
right.
Yeah. I got it.
There were a lot of likes when Erik took over the IG this weekend, and Bill said the code was real.
You said good work.
All right. And now on the balloon itself, and they'll get into the theme here in a second. Chris S said, one, he had an ample opportunity to shoot it down. And speaking of Randy, we did get this photo taken, and I believe it is one of the last viable photos of the spy balloon before it met its untimely demise. And
That's
there it
so
is.
awesome.
And for those who are not watching this on YouTube,
Oh my
what you're
God.
seeing is camera floating above the pit garages, which is clearly the not a spy balloon. And approaching it from below, still being thrown, is the infamous Three Pedal Mafia double-ended dong. So I'm convinced this is how the balloon met its untimely demise.
It is not, but that's
It
fun.
got
Still,
donged.
It
still
was
funny.
great, though. Yeah,
That
was
is
great,
the
Randy.
best picture.
Yeah.
Oh, I must get that picture.
We need this picture.
It's in our email. Randy
Okay.
sent it to us.
Okay.
Erik, I'll forward it to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Randy put
Wow.
a 360-degree GoPro on it, and then we all threw the dong at it. When it was quite difficult to get the dong up that much.
I
don't even
believe in that picture, it's who was wearing the tinfoil hat?
Jeremy was
Jeremy.
wearing a
Jeremy.
tinfoil hat.
It
Jeremy
looks
was
like
throwing
Jeremy looks like the one who got that shot. So yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
That's
He's
a great
got
shot.
he's handy with that thing.
Handy. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
He can whip his dong around. I don't know how to make the transition from that statement to this next
Thanks.
part.
Thanks. Thank you.
You know who usually doesn't throw things at spy balloons?
Sure. Does not.
How about that?
She
There we go.
made great cookies.
Oh,
They were great. I think there was a new kind that everybody seemed to love was Biscoff oatmeal white chocolate chip with funfetti chips. I'm pretty sure that was a huge hit. So I think it's just Biscoff equals crack, I think is what really the answer is.
Everything was good.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Always is.
Yep. And everybody got bags. And yep. It was good. It was good. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you. I'm
Oh.
savoring my Biscoff bars. Those are my favorite,
Okay.
and I'm eating them slowly.
Good. I'm glad. they actually made some that made it home. Okay, let's talk about the race weekend. It's May topic time. 40%
Hey,
hangover. No, 40% hangover. Sure, 80% pit race. Okay, that's fine. I was like, that's not how it goes. Okay,
Yeah.
what are we talking about?
Well, I guess let's just go through the days and through the stuff. So just our
Okay.
pre-race got there Thursday night before they closed. And here's a note for next year that we remember. They say the gates close at 10. They sort of do in that they won't be giving you wristbands, but the pit will still let you in after 10. They just take your driver's license so that they know who has to come back. And because, you kind of need your driver's license for stuff. So that is a nice thing to know. You don't have to sleep in the driveway. They will let you in.
Other tracks, take notice if you need them to come back and sign the
Yeah.
waiver.
You don't have to climb over a fence, maybe.
Right.
No
Yep. Exactly.
No coyoteing.
We've definitely never done any of those
No,
things. I don't
no,
know
we
what they're
don't, and
talking
we
about.
don't suggest it either.
Nope.
I don't know
nope.
what you're talking about.
Totally. That's terrible. So yes, our small 3 p.m. group, it was just the three of us. And that was that. We had one car. Chrissy and I showed up the first night, and we met Bill was already there, and Vicky and the Garage Heroes and all their
Garage
stuff. And
Heroes,
we
we
set
were
everything up and hung
partying
out with
with
them
them.
and some other folks. And had a great time hanging out with everybody Thursday night. I will say that Chrissy and I tested out our new track camping setup this weekend. So we took the enclosed trailer that you've all heard all the work I've done over the last couple of years with insulating and painting and wiring and lights and stuff. And I got an exterior rug that's 8x16, put that on the floor to make a nice clean space. Got a nice big thick air mattress with a headboard, a good quality one that plugs in. Plug that all in. It was a really nice spot. Like the rug made it so clean. The air mattress was very comfortable. We had lights, we had heat, we had air conditioning. It really worked out great.
We were able to spread out. We had tables that had stuff to
Yeah.
put our all the hangers that we use. And when we clean out the trailer, we still have a hold the hook is on the wall. So we just lined up all of our race gear, and and it ended up being really great.
Yeah, the new workbench that I built worked great to hold stuff to keep it off the floor, and also for Chrissy to put all her stuff on. So works out great.
Awesome.
I asked
Which
for
it
that.
would be holding stuff and keeping it off the floor.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was still stuff on
Cool.
the floor too, but that's okay. Had a good time.
Yep. So
So
Friday.
no towelly, because I guess
No
Bruce
toweling.
is
No
Bruce
Cressy.
is still Bruce is
They
still
didn't get the car.
recovering, and
They
then
didn't get the car all the way together. So no tally, no hot tub, no Cressida because they were
Oh,
going
that's
to Road America instead. So
yeah.
it's a little contingent, but hey, it was super low key and easy.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
and we had a great time, especially hanging out with Garage Heroes. I mean, it was plenty of a big party. It was Garage Heroes and
Yep.
Jeremy from Monkey House and Alan, and like we were all running around.
Various
plenty.
people coming through at
Yep.
times. Yeah. But the other teams were definitely missed. Everyone asked where they were.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
no doubt. And also, I did find out that I apparently have an asterisk next to my name with Pitt Race because when I was paying for the garages and things, the head of HR lady, as I was talking to, said, so, hey, are you guys going to bring the hot tub this year? Like somehow they knew that was me. Well, my
Hot
name
tub
registered
equals-
on the garage for our team. So I said, no, we don't have it this year. She's like, that's good. And that's
I feel like that depends on the track, because when you go to register for the garage in New Hampshire and they say, is a hot tub coming? You say, no, they're like, oh, well, then I don't know if we have a garage available.
Right. Yep. All right. Friday. Did we test?
No.
What was the weather like? You said it was going to be nice, but it's Pittsburgh.
Gorgeous.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
It was perfect.
75 and sunny.
It only rained after the track was closed on Saturday and then overnight. That was it. And everything else was just gorge.
And Saturday was after we were basically all in the garage to get to eating food. And then it cleared up after we had food. It was great. Everybody was able to stay outside. It was a little humid after that, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you could not ask for a better April weekend in Pittsburgh than what we just had.
Oh, so beautiful. All right. I showed up around noonish and we started to get into theme.
Yeah. And I'd gone out in the morning.
He went shopping.
Yeah, while Chrissy was working. You had a nice little setup under the tent there.
It was awesome. Yeah.
I took the car. I went to Walmart to buy various assorted things, as you always end up needing, including 2 large tanks of helium. So it was $100 worth of helium that I bought there. Got some gas. Drove the Mazda to the gas station with all the gas cans in it, filled it all up to get ready for Saturday because it's convenient when the race car is still registered. And then we started theming.
Erik? So our theme was spy balloon, or let me say, generic weather balloon, definitely not a 3 p.m. spy balloon. So we had multiple characters. I played 2 different characters. One was the insane tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist, which I put a couple of videos on. Hopefully that was able to see that. Chris was the ever so interested in shooting it down pilot. And Chrissy was the reporter, 69 News reporter, who was looking for the big scoop and willing to oversee some important details to get the right answers. So we hit hard. We got our balloon up, made it. It did not fill the entire thing, even though it was $100 worth of helium. We could have probably done 2 or probably 4 more actual containers in that balloon, turning it out to be the full 96 inches in diameter, but it flew beautifully. It did not have sufficient loft to hold the 3 p.m. dong, so we had to figure out something else. We had a nice sign on it.
Substituted White Claw cans. We thought, well, what's light and still fun enough? So,
and a little bit of ballast, and
Brilliant.
then as we started to lose it, we dropped
jettison
one
the
can.
cans.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I was hesitant to make it. I was afraid it was going to pop immediately. So we were making sure we got to watch it. And
we made it like a full, probably 24 hours. So that wasn't too bad.
Yeah. We let it go and we let it fly. And I don't know if I can add it here. We added to it. So we thought it would be, I think it was Vicky maybe Erik, did you start the picture on the balloon?
Someone
I
drew
did.
an eye on it. To
I
start.
did the eye. I did the eye, and then Vicky had a color markers, which is much
Right.
better than what I had, thus allowing it to be what Mental's about to show.
Oh,
Jeez.
no.
That's
That's
crazy,
just wrong.
Eric. So yeah,
Yeah.
what we did is for the theme, I initially came in as this crazy character, and I started sowing seeds with the judges. I ran around them, yelling them that there's a thing coming and all that stuff. Randy Bish immediately started laughing, and all was good. And then we went to tech, I was wearing the general outfit. Chris was wearing his flight suit. Chrissy was asking all sorts of questions. It was fantastic. We did a bunch of theater for them, and the balloon remained there, and we denied its existence over and over and over again.
Obnoxious about our saluting. Mental would you would have shaken your head
Oh,
so much.
Yeah,
my God.
yeah. We're gonna have a conversation with Sajeev about that Navy thing on that uniform too. At least he didn't put Space Force on there.
That was dishwashing fairy, by the way.
Sajeev and Dishwash, they wanted to. They
but
wanted. They
Sajeev
said,
was pensive about how to get back at you or something like it. So it's not wrong for saying Sajeev had something to do with it.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that was it. Friday was easy. Had got everything done.
Let's see, here's the
Had a
and
nice
you can
time.
you can still find these. Oh, I'm sorry. Who else is screen sharing? There we go.
Oh,
that's
I was
great.
showing the balloon.
Oh, there you
Balloon
go.
with that's Vicky's the blue eye she drew on. It looked so much better.
Yeah.
She added the eyebrow. It was a little bloodshot as
color.
it should be. Right. The color was really wonderful. She's such a talented artist.
Absolutely. But it was fun, and I had a good time with it. And then when it popped, we were all very sad.
Very sad. I had a lot of plans for it for the weekend,
Me
and
too.
alas, it was gone.
It was gone.
Mm-mm.
Somebody shot it down, or it
We
hit
did
the,
have it.
hit the garage.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yep.
We made sure Eric did a white guy in a truck rant, selfie rant, which is those are always the most valuable source of news is the white guy in a truck selfie rant.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they've got a $70,000 vehicle, and darn it if they're not just being marginalized and oppressed.
That's right. That's
You
right.
got
That's so true.
Saturday. So how was Saturday driving? Eric, you started off Saturday.
Loved it.
I don't
Had a
know.
fantastic time. I wasn't doing great. Media. I was thinking, doing okay. I don't really know Pitt Race very well, and I need to learn it better. So I did I was in the car an hour 45, but I was only racing an hour 15. Then I got a little sick. So I came in, Chrissy took over, and then within 3 laps, she beat my best time by a lot. So good, and good on Chrissy. And we kept going all day. I think we had a really solid day.
Yeah. Chrissy, how was your time out there?
It was fantastic. Excuse me. I was screaming so much. I have no voice. Yes, Mental.
All right. So like 9 laps in, somebody came in.
Oh yeah. The car runs on the
It
warmer
was hot.
side. That is the way the fan doesn't come on until like 2:30. So because we weren't really trying,
Somebody was
Eric came
watching
in,
Race
and also
Monitor.
we had no radios.
We had no
Ones
radios.
No radios.
Ones we borrowed from Bill weren't working. Like we couldn't. They were keying, but they weren't transmitting.
Yeah.
So Eric came in to say, "Is this okay?" We said, "Yep, that's fine. As long as it stays there, it's fine. Keep going."
Yeah. It was. I mean, for me, that would be hotter than what I'd expect. So
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to hurt
Totally.
anything. So
Yeah.
plus
No,
we weren't winning.
That's
so.
appreciated.
And it was early, so no, that's great. The problem
Absolutely
was that
appreciate
Chris and I were like, "Oh, let's get on Scooty and go watch." And so we were watching, and then Eric was close to the Civic, so we were watching them go around. Cool. And all of a sudden, we see the Civic go around. And we say, "The Mazda's not there," and we said, "We're
that
gonna
point,
wait."
My phone rings.
Right.
Oh.
And we said we were gonna wait to see if it comes back around again. We didn't see it, so that we got back on Scooty and came back down.
Yeah. So better safe than sorry. I know better now.
Absolutely.
And it's all good.
No,
but
Absolutely. Chrissy, your shift was good.
Fantastic. Yeah. Kicking ass and taking names. I was feeling very, very good. Yeah, I was passing everybody. A couple of cars that I was letting by, but not much. So was feeling really good. It was nice, beautiful weather, and sun was up, wasn't in my eyes. Just feeling good. So it was definitely
you were doing great.
it was a good lap. Good.
I did see there a brief period where you guys were in the top 10, or was it just
No.
top?
No,
in,
not
okay,
even a little bit.
All right, never mind. But for a while, you
We
guys were
made it
top
into the
10 in
mid-20s.
class.
Yeah, we were
I
low
did.
20s actually for a bit.
Yeah.
23rd was about as high as I saw you guys get.
That's
Yeah,
about
it's
right. Yeah.
We literally did not care.
Yeah, I had a
Nope.
good time out there too. The car was on tires that are over a year old. I think this is their 4th race, and we were just going to wipe them out. Like, so we were not at our best, but that's okay. But we successfully wiped those tires right off.
Yeah, that's so true. The fronts looked rather weird after Saturday, so they were straight to the back, and everything was okay.
Yeah, those tires were trashed, but RS4s, they just last forever. Even on absolutely trash tires, I got the car down to a mid 214, which is respectable for a B class car. So I actually had a great shift out there on Saturday, running for a long time in a pack of 4 or 5 cars that were all driving really well and the consistently good speed. It was all the fast B class cars, like the Aspen, the Cheese Bolt Focus, which they have stepped their game up. That car moves.
That car is very well
he's really
done, yes.
doing really well, right?
Yeah.
The Haterade Boston Winners E30, and then some various E36s would float in and out. But we were just going round and round and round for a long time, just cooking. That was a fun shift.
Yep, that's good. I think I went out for 1 hour, I think, right? And then
I think you went back out later in the day.
1 hour, and then
I went back out again. Finish up today.
Mhm.
Everything was great. The car was running great. No issues, no problem. The
That's a
nightly
great car.
checks, we found that the tires were trashed. I noticed there was a pinhole in the inner boot on the passenger side axle that had leaked all its grease out, but I didn't have a spare because, if you'll remember from last week, I installed the spare. That was the spare. The spare was coming from Rock Auto. It arrived at our house on Friday. A lot of help that did. So we put the least bad tires on the front and said, well, let's hope it doesn't rain because we have no tread.
And it didn't. So it was fine.
Yep.
But when you were out there taking the checker on Saturday, the clouds, I actually took I don't know if I posted. I did post it.
Black.
It wiped, right. So I actually took a pano with my phone because at the garage it was light. And if you kept panning, you could see that there was it's raining over here. It's raining over here. There's sun over here. So yeah, no, it was pretty crazy.
Which is exactly what you said would happen.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I know that's what happens because that's what happens every time it rains.
As I came up over the hill, it was so dark in the distance. Like it was like a different world, to the point where I was lifting my tinted visor because it was getting kind of dark in that section of the track.
Yep.
But I have to say, I loved the new setup I had with the tinted visor, no sunglasses. It let me keep the visor closed, which I think is safer. And it was enough airflow around the eyes. The glasses aren't getting fogged up. So I have to say, would recommend that setup. And as well as the spray cleaner that we talked about on our Christmas show for the helmet visors of the anti-fog, worked beautifully, cleaned everything up wonderfully. So
good.
Yeah. All success.
Great.
All right.
Track goes cold. We were scrambling. So we knew it was going to rain. So Vicky, Jennifer, and I was at least our paddock, we're trying to get all of our food cooked and prepared for the potluck. So it was still a little bit early, but we know that we got tables set up and kind of had everything set up early so we could make sure that we were everything was available for people that were dropping stuff off the potluck. We scrambled to try to get stuff ready for the potluck. In natural fashion, as the potluck usually happens, we had no food out, minimal food out by the time that at 6:30. It always happens. And so we were scrambling and people were like, well, we're just going to eat now. And there's literally bags of chips, the salad that I brought, the salad that Vicky brought, and like, that's about it.
And all the desserts.
So I didn't get there yet. So
okay.
We were low on food at this point. So no, I'm like,
but no potato salad.
A little bit. We had potato salad. I brought the potato salad that so we had some potato salad, but we needed it because there was no food. So a minimal food. So we had, and so the thing is about the potluck is we had 2 tables, full out 6-foot tables of desserts, pies, more pies than you could ever want. There were so many pies there, and most of them were homemade. There's definitely a pile of Costco pies, but there was definitely homemade cookies and just a lot of stuff for dessert. So that was great. Thank you for the dessert, but we could use some food. The fortunate thing about the potluck was that we continue to have people that show up late because their food was taking too long to cook, or they were putzing around, or they're like, sorry, we're late. And I'm like, no, it's great. We have no food. So as people would come through the line, I was like, there's not a whole lot there, but the cheesy potatoes just showed up. So here you go.
Yeah.
So we played the game of
Yep.
and
Say Brian's meat was excellent.
Yep.
And
tacos.
the tacos, like one guy brought
Tacos. He
homemade
Yep. No, he made them like
tortillas.
he didn't bring them. He made them that day.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Fresh.
Brought to the potluck.
tortillas.
And did you say it was homemade al pastor?
Yeah, and fresh homemade al pastor on the fresh tortillas. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that. Darn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at the end of the table. And that's why I told
Proper.
Chris.
Well done.
Yeah,
There we go.
right. So we did have enough food. It was a little lower than I would have liked, but we did it. So and then we cleaned up pretty well, the cleanup wasn't too bad this time. Had a bar. We had the Mercure team handle the bar, so that was really good. And
no one
Yep.
drank our slow gin. Sadly.
Imagine that.
no, but
No.
Randy
You
did like
Collected
the
money for
Midori.
Lemons of Love.
Yes, we
Yeah.
did. Yep.
It was over
We had
$3,000, I think, at the end of the
total,
weekend, right?
total, yeah, for the whole weekend. So
Now that is fantastic. That's
All,
really
all
good
for
to hear.
Aaron. All in honor of Aaron, our wonderful fallen teammate.
yeah,
Mm.
so potluck
Yep.
was good. The DJ was amazing. Thank you for DJing. Yep, we had a great time, and the party overall was pretty light, but that's okay. We had a good time. So stood around, drank, had fun with friends. People showed up and talked like they usually do. So nothing like the notable 80% cold, 40% cold, 80% party that happened last year. None of the epic stories like that. But my coworker did show up with her husband. We had a great time talking with them. They're already the lemons bug has bitten them. They are already trying to pick out their car. My coworker was sending me car options today and asking me what we thought of them. So they're ready. No, they're
There's
not
a
ready, but
different,
they're
obviously
excited.
different coworker than
Different
the
coworker.
aspect
She
of-
just came. They just came to camp and check it out and watch, and so they learned a lot, and we had a good time with them. So that was good.
Overnight, though, Garage Heroes cookie was absconded. And,
I think it's stolen a lot.
and this
It was
time,
epic.
yeah.
the
think it's-
thief created a website for a stolen cookie.
Like a full out, like not just like a crappy WordPress. Like this looks
Right.
like a legit website.
And a ransom video.
And ransom, yeah.
Ransom video. Yep. It was amazing. I was
It
really
was-
impressed.
I
So
was
good.
too.
So
It
good.
wasn't
They
even
think they're
Cookie
funny.
Monster.
Nope.
So,
Oh, it was good. They have a lot of time on their hands, unless they thought of it ahead of time. But I don't know how
no,
they would know.
I know who did it, and I was involved in some of the discussions of as it was about to happen. And it was an off the cuff thing.
I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
They just have nothing else to do but let me just go make this website. Okay.
Well, they have plenty of things to do, but this is the most entertaining thing to do.
That was funny, right?
Sure. Yep.
I loved it. I that was amazing. Just it was so creative and so cute.
Yes.
And
So
Yeah.
is the site still up?
Don't know.
maybe.
Oh, I don't know. Look
What's
at Garage
the-
Heroes social medias, and it was posted
Okay.
on there. Yeah.
All right. We'll have to-
Also, their
we'll have
social
to-
media had the ransom video where the guy was threatening to cut the cookie up and eat it. It was cute.
Yep.
And for those who may not know, the Garage Heroes in Training, one of their myriad of cars is a Honda Civic sponsored by Chrissy's Mom's Cookies, and they have a giant cookie on the roof.
One race, Cookie Monster stole it. That was hilarious, actually, because that
Yep.
was unprompted too, and it just
Right.
showed up the next morning on top of Cookie Monster's car, and everyone's like, "Oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense." Okay, got it.
I will say one little thing about the potluck. The Mustang people brought these little adorable cow cookies and a whole thing of milk, so
They
that they
did.
could have cookies and milk with their little Mustang milk things. That was cute theming. So I give them credit for that.
Yep. Yeah. No, there were some good ones. There were some that we could have used more food just
Fewer desserts.
out there. Just
Yeah.
putting that out there for next time.
Sunday. Erik, you start. No, who started? Erik started again. Yes.
Eric started. Yes.
I started. Had a good. I had a good right. I was really starting to get into it. My times were getting down. I shaved about 5 seconds off throughout the weekend for me, and I still have some corners that I really don't know how to do right, but I'm working on it, and I'll get to it. And I was happy, so passed it off to Chrissy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, you were more than happy. You got out and you were pumped.
Oh, I was excited.
You were excited. You said you thought it was really good. So that's what matters.
I was having a lot of fun, of fun dicing it up out there, learning. I was learning, for me, the learning of how to figure out how to pass people, right? Because, just because you're faster doesn't mean you can pass them because they block, there's this typical thing. So I was looking for ways, I was learning ways, I was making that sort of progress. So I was very happy with what I learned this weekend, even though I still have, a solid 6 seconds to shave off my lap time.
So the website is kidnappedcookie.com. That'll be in our show notes for anyone that wants to check it out.
I love that they bought the domain right there in the middle. It's awesome. Freaking awesome.
And did they do it on like computer? Like just went back to their RVs and just okay.
These are people that did it are listeners. They're great. So
I know
yeah.
it's amazing. I still can't get over it. It's awesome. Sunday, my stint was fine. Okay, hold on. Jeremy got in. Erik came in early.
Yeah.
Jeremy got in because he was suited and I wasn't, and I was doing stuff and I was trying to clean. And we said, Jeremy, just get in and finish the rest of Erik's stint. So he did that. So they both got in, and then I got in. I guess I got in the car just on pit lane, right? So I didn't get in the car before that.
Yep.
Did 3 laps. And I felt a shudder under full throttle going down straights. Enough that it was not normal. It was not the way before we raced. And I was surprised that anybody would have gotten out of the car and felt like that was fine. So knowing how fast we go down all of the straights, I said, I'm not really a big fan. It was consistent on just about all straights. And when you're going that fast, I didn't really want to lose a wheel. I figured anything that might break might hurt me. And there's no reason to hurt the car if we're not trying to win. So I bring it in because we have no radios and say, I've got this shutter. I guess I'll call it shutter. And I feel like the wheel's kind of shaking in my hand enough that I didn't feel it was great. So I brought it in, and then Chris, we looked around, didn't see anything. Wheel bearings looked fine. Put it up in the air, looked around, and we said, so then Chris got in the car and drove it down the street because we said, well, if we need to replicate it, he's not dressed. He doesn't really want to bring it out on the track. So brings it down the street. So Chris takes the car and goes away.
Yep. And it did have a vibration under heavy throttle and higher speed. So we said, probably remember that axle boot that had the hole in it that leaked out all the grease?
Yep.
It's probably the problem. So, found a local parts store that had it. Erik went and got it. I had the axle out. Then I've gotten good at it. And the passenger side one I can have out in
quick disconnects.
10 minutes.
No.
So it's really easy. And so then Erik came back. We put it back in about 10 minutes and got the car together. Chrissy went back out and we didn't hear from her. So we said, oh, it must be.
Okay, Erik, I believe.
Yeah.
Because I see you moving.
So, okay.
I believe Chris and Chrissy just gigablasted.
I think they did.
We did. We gigablasted.
Yeah. So now we're back.
What the
Right,
hell?
Yeah, I immediately think, oh,
sorry.
great, my computer's doing this again. But then I see
No.
Erik making the same funny dog noise face as I am.
Nope.
It wasn't
And I'm
me.
like, come on, come back. And then I sometimes it's just my old ass computer. Nope, definitely deaf internet. Sorry about that. So yes, I got in the car and it continued my stint. It was fine. I found that my eyes were going up. I had a couple random early apexes, which kind of threw off the rhythm, especially in the S's or in the the back modulating the gas part. So it was fine. I did okay. I passed some people, but it wasn't light on fire like the stint before. So it was fine. I had a good time. Just clean track. All good.
Yeah. Then I went out one more time, and that's when I had a freaking awesome time.
Oh, right.
I think.
You're right. Yep.
Right. And the tires were leaving us, but that also made it Right. They're so greasy. It's me, you know.
I mean, I did
have to grip it.
I did a tank slapper, and so
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, I got out. There was like 2 or 3 laps before I came into pit, and I was like, that was exciting. Like I thought, I didn't think I was that fast, but apparently I was fast. Well, the tires were that bad, so that's what happened. Yep.
But there's a certain point when you have that, it's almost more fun because you used to like, I'm in and I'm warring, and you know, there's a certain
If you do it on
knowledge
purpose,
to
it's
it. Yeah.
fine. You know, if you do it on purpose, it's fine. If you don't, then it comes surprising. Then that's
Yeah.
not exactly.
But I still did my best lap then, so that at least helped me towards getting smooth and getting faster. And then I got out happy as a clam and handed off to Chris to finish off.
And I had a great time. The tires were just
Mm.
trashed, but okay. They didn't need to leave anything left, so I was going along all as well. The sky was getting dark again. I said, I really hope it doesn't rain now, because I know exactly how little tires shred these have, and it's nothing. But it did not rain while I was out there, because I was coming through 12, and all of a sudden, significant shimmy and problem in the left front. And I said, like, I think one of these tires finally gave up. Like, we were just pushing them too hard, or I got a cut in it. It feels bad. Like, I had to slow way down to the straight, fist up on the, keeping myself to the outside. Came in, and everyone's like, "Why in here?" It's like, "Oh, the car's broken. I think I might have a tire problem." And look at, no, the tire looks fine.
I was like, the
Yeah.
checker is in 15, so why? No,
Why are you here? Yeah,
you should not be
car's
here.
broken. I really thought it was a tire.
Is the
'cause it
car
felt a
still
lot like-
moving under its own power?
It
Get
felt
well
like it
out
happened to
there.
the
If it's
Civic
unsafe,
that time.
that's right.
Yeah, if
And
it
the
was,
coming-
The
if
3.
you didn't come in that time, we would have definitely won. So yeah, there you go.
That's true. Yeah.
No, and last time when the
Hey.
3 was winning B and the you were unsafe because the exhaust had overheated the whole engine, you came in.
Yeah, there's been many times where have been leading the class or race and had to come in for something stupid, like,
Right.
A wire
no
in
fuel,
the tire.
right? Or a wire sticking out of the sidewall of the tire. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So anyway, we said, all right, well, that's it.
And CNC gigablast again.
Yes, yeah. So let me just go back to one thing that happened while we were
I can hear
racing.
you now.
Oh, sorry, Chris. Good. The one thing that happened while we were
No,
racing.
I can hear you now.
Hear me?
Can you
Hear
hear us?
Chrissy? Who you?
I
who
can hear
trying to
all of you. Just talk. I turned my
Okay.
video off. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. So I just to go back something in the middle of the day, and this because it was another brilliant spur of the moment type of thing. One of the teams took it upon themselves to start distributing flyers that said "Impeach Judge Randy" at 3 p.m. And then they printed them out that day, and they got a big banner for their
Geographic
wall.
location
No.
or time?
3 p.m.
Time.
Okay.
Good call. And which was unfortunate
Also,
because I missed it because we were on the track and doing things. But
Or I think we were changing drivers. The banner they put on his minivan.
yeah,
I don't know if you knew that was his minivan that was in the
I
in the
didn't.
Yeah.
parking lot.
I didn't know that. Thank you. That Odyssey. Yeah, right. Good call.
But all of those signs were all over like the bathroom doors. So like as soon as you walk in the bathroom, like they were everywhere that was eye level.
Right here. I'm gonna get one.
Oh, you have one. That's funny.
Yeah, this is a great, like, thrown together by somebody thing that they did. It was wonderful.
So the judges were Sajeev. We had him on the show.
Sajeev,
Judge Randy,
Mary Harris,
and
Randy Bish.
Dr. Mom / Dr.
Wife.
Wife.
Yep. Impeach Judge Randy.
Yeah, it was
That was-
hilarious. It's just
And they're
so
like
well
good
done.
quality cards too. Like they're not
And
like
it was
just
a
printed-
quality banner. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a big banner.
I'm impressed.
Apparently, it was just a remote faction, and they didn't get enough votes to actually impeach him. But we all know that this is something we have to expect in other lemons, paddocks, and mental. You just so you know, as the next judge, and Chrissy, you got to watch out for that impeachment now that it's a possibility.
Sure. If somebody comes up with, I think they had picketing signs too. I think I
did.
saw a picture on Facebook from somebody took them. Or did you take
All
them?
right, I've reported all of my luxury vacations that I've taken, so it should be all right.
I feel like I feel like not in the same manner, because this will absolutely invite impeachment, but I feel like to a degree I'm uncancelable once I'm a judge, just because I don't care. But yeah.
Excellent.
That is fair.
Yep.
That's fair. No, but he, as you know, Randy enjoyed the hell out of everything, all the themes and his own impeachment. So
Yeah, Randy
Well,
leans
and
into
that's how
those
you,
things.
that's how you impress Judge Randy is you don't bring your theme at all, and you commit to it the whole weekend.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cool.
we already talked about the winners, so it was a nail biter to the end for who was actually racing, and then there was plenty of carnage in that broken cars, and it didn't seem like a lot of
Penalty was quiet a lot.
Quiet,
Everyone was
yeah.
actually, I'd have to say the driving that I saw was for the most part way better than Northeast average, like way
Yeah.
less aggro. I think part of it is Pitt's a big track. There's a lot of room. So even though there's 110 cars, you got almost 3 miles. They were spread out enough. That was nice.
Yeah, there was very few car-to-car incidents. Very few.
As it might be the trend, the question at the first drivers meeting that said, who is a rookie and who is new at this track? Lots of hands, which is great. We want people into the sport, but that also means that there were cars that literally drove down the middle of the track.
Mhm.
And that is a problem when you are driving fast, when you are expecting a car to be, and then there's sometimes you have one, I'm going to use a big air quotes here, hot shoe. So you've got a car that seems to be moving pretty quickly and they're driving the right thing. And then their friends get in and they've never been on track and they're overwhelmed. And I am just like, where are you going? Which side can I pass you on? So that was kind of a big thing. Maybe it happens at most races, but I definitely noticed we have, I could pick out 5 off the top of my head that were like that most of the weekend.
It does happen at most races. I just love that Chrissy is now getting so quick and so comfortable. Oh my God, where are you going? I should have been around you 30 seconds ago.
I mean, I literally said that a couple times. Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Ride home
So-
was easy. Cadillac's amazing. Got home. Great. Yay.
Yeah, it rained on the way back, but it was nothing of significance. And I hit major traffic there right around Frederick, Maryland. But you know,
really? Sunday night?
yeah, just I don't know why. Just about 6 mile backup, just stop and go for 45 minutes or so. I will say a big thanks to Alan for letting me stay in his camper. I don't know why he was so insistent about me drinking.
Alan, pull that Jello shot stunt
About me
with
drinking
you.
that-
Yeah.
Went to bed, but I slept right through the night. I don't remember what happened. So
Felt very rested.
it was amazing. I was just like, it's like out. I don't even know. I can't remember.
Good. That's wonderful.
Now, Chris, and I feel bad because we have this is Chris. You don't have a picture of you. We need like a picture of, the wagon
You
or
probably
something.
can turn your video back on. I think I
Yeah,
know
well, I
what's
was trying
causing
to not cause
No, exactly.
problems with
Not gigablast.
gigablasting.
So, well, and Chris and Chrissy. So, and I'm cheating because I know this is on our Slack channel. So you guys went through this with the Honda when you did the engine upgrade. But this is a new problem with the Mazda as far as eating axles. And you want to walk us through, I know what the solution is, but take our listeners to what your solution is going to be, what you think the source is, and
Sure.
why you decided to go the route you're going this time versus what you did on the Honda.
Sure. Well, we're running a Mazda Speed 3 transmission and axles, mostly because it's actually way cheaper than the stock transmission we had in it. And I thought it would be more durable because it comes from a car with 100 more horsepower. So it's got to be stronger, and including the axles. I thought, oh, these are going to be more durable too. So I just ordered Rock Auto axles, saying, see how it is. But I ordered 2 because I said, well, I might need a
Which goes back to our philosophy of
a few
when you're
races.
ordering
So I
parts.
said, okay, I think we'll be all right.
Gigablasting.
It's the Bill
Yeah.
Fisher school of why order one when you can order several.
Well,
So,
especially if you know if it's a disposable part.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anyway, we knew we talked last week, the outer joint on the right axle broke as we were leaving the storage garage. We had no idea it was a problem. It was driving fine at the end of last year. So, okay. So we replaced that axle, the inner joint blew because I think that tiny pinhole in the boot leaked all the grease out. It got too hot. That one went. Then the left side went, but the left side that was in there went after it. Went in New Jersey last year. So it lasted several races, but obviously we have a problem. And the problem is we are way outside the design parameters of the parts store axles and the Rock Auto specials that we're getting. The grease is not up to the temperature that we're putting these things through. We're on the throttle a lot. The Mazda is not a lightweight car, and it has a decent amount of torque, so it is putting some pressure on these axles. The grease isn't holding up. The quality of the parts and the machining in the Chinese axles, not so great, and it's they're just wearing out quickly. So we didn't know this was going to be a problem when we started. I mean, it could be, but like our first Civic with the D series, even with the turbo, never had an axle problem. We'd go years on axles.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew? So this was new. So now we're going to have to upgrade. So we're getting some cheaty axles made that, it'll solve the problem. We'll put it that way. Like, that's a terrible way to spend money, but we want a reliable car. This is not a speed thing. This is just don't break. That's what we're trying to do. And we knew it was an axle problem going because there's a vibration, and there was a rotational vibration based on car speed. If it's under load, that's even more so. That's when the axles have the pressure on them, which is going to feel. That's when it's going to show up. Higher speeds mean it's moving faster. More likely, if it's not centering, it's going to have a vibration. And also, when we checked everything else that rotates in those corners and nothing else was wrong at all, it kind of starts to narrow it down, especially with the problems we've had. So that's how we decided it was the axle that was causing the problem. So with the new ones that we're getting that are made of much higher quality materials, have a much higher temperature grease in them that's designed to cope with the stress that's going to be on them. And also they have vented boots to allow for the pressure differential to change and keep them a little bit cooler.
Never heard of that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
They're also even like polishing up the bits inside the joints to make sure that they're smooth, and smooth is less heat and less binding and easier rotation and whatnot. So
Is it the boot holding in the grease?
it is, but if you can vent it from the center, because the grease spins to the outside through rotation when centripetal force and all that. So if the vent is kind of in the center, and one trick that people do when they make their own out of these, which you could do, the other option we had was buy OEM Mazda axles, which are better quality than parts store ones, take them apart and replace the grease with something good like Redline CV2. It's designed for high temperatures, and then take a straw like from WD-40 and put that in the boot with a little carve out in it that sticks into the middle and allows just enough room to vent that shouldn't leak too much grease. That's the homemade way to do it. But I also then decided after Chrissy and I just talked last night about the choices, Chrissy said, you know what, let's just never have this problem again. It would be a shame to spend the real money on the Mazda axles.
Which is really like just a healthy solution to anything. Let's never have this problem again.
Yes, we can fix this problem with money.
Well,
So
but we would be fixing
just
this
do
problem
that.
with money, and then we would be at a race, pay for a race, show up, hang out there, and have to do a couple axles a weekend. That's all that would have paying for the new axles would have solved that problem.
Yeah.
So
one ruined race pays for these axles.
Yep.
So
Well said.
yep.
So that's what we're doing about it.
There's other stuff.
Oh yeah, as I kept digging into the car to see what's going on, and some things have just worn out. Like you need obviously brake pads. Those brake pads been on there for almost a year. And one caliper, the slides got a little rubber sleeves in the caliper that hold the slides are worn out. So the pads were not wearing evenly. So we kind of ruined one set of pads for that caliper. The other sets are good spares. So all the new pads are in the rear. They're good. Fronts, they're going to have to be replaced. I've got caliper rebuild kits coming to rebuild the bad caliper, and have some spares that I bought from a local junkyard that arrived today.
Nice.
Also found that one of the strut mounts was getting loose. So I took that off and took the shock apart and said, oh, this shock left front, not so hot. All right. Well, if the left front's not so hot, the right front probably also not so hot. So took that one apart, and that shock, like you can push the shock down and it never comes back up. That's the right front. So thanks, Coney, for having a great warranty, because this will be the third set of front shocks on that car based on buying. Well,
It makes me happy.
So that picture was a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm just trying to have a picture of you while you're talking. Your audio just went wonky as well. But,
Okay.
So, but that is, I feel like Coney should be using you guys as some sort of R&D as a minimum.
Yeah. Well, technically, their warranty is voided for a car that is racing, but hey, ours is still tagged and insured.
Registered.
So
I'm going to send it and say, wait, what is this? What are we doing here?
I don't know what Eric. I have no idea what Eric's doing.
Eric, yeah, I'll tell you later. Don't worry. Just keep going, please.
Okay. So shocks. I'm very happy to go to Coney. So this is more shocks from them.
Right.
That's good.
Eric, you're still sharing the screen, and now I can't do anything.
no,
No, you're not.
he's not for us, but
Yeah, he is.
anyway.
he's just sharing his he's sharing his Zoom call screen.
There, is that better?
Not
You're-
sure.
Sure, but I can't
I've stopped
see
share.
I can't see my notes.
I've stopped
Okay.
share.
It's mental. It's a you problem. It's not showing up for us.
We're
It's
fine.
gone for us
Okay.
Okay.
both times.
This isn't great podcasting. So
No.
anything
Gross.
else wrong on the car? You took a whole lot of stuff off, and now
Yeah. Well,
some
now
of
the car's apart,
and then
and
you
it's
have
going
timing.
to stay apart for at least a month until all the necessary parts come in. So it's on the lift, taking up the garage, and it is going to stay that way. Yep.
Yep. So now we have to work around it because we can't move it, can't put it down because it doesn't have any way to put wheels on it and move it. So cool. At least it's warm
Yep.
out. So now we can work outside. So that's a little bit better.
It can garnish a good half an inch of pollen on it, like we have here.
Sure.
Well, it's inside, so
No, I
No, I
meant
mean the
you're
other
gonna have to
cars.
wo-
Your
you're
other
gonna have to-
the other
cars.
cars. Yes.
The other pretty
You're gonna have
cars.
to work.
Yeah. Well, the
You have to work
NSX just
outside.
won't come home for a while because of this.
Aw.
I know.
Yep, pretty much. So, overall successful weekend. We had a good time. If anything, we always have good laughs and, yeah, we always have.
It was fun. It was low key, casual racing with friends. Car
Yep.
mostly is in fine shape when it came home. I mean, some stuff just wore out. Okay. But nothing got crashed. Nothing went boom. All these problems are easily fixable. So these are the good kinds of
Mm-hmm.
fixes to make.
Good people, good weather, good racing. It was fantastic.
Yep, that's
Absolutely.
the answer.
And
I
good
tried-
food.
Good food. I was gonna say
Mhm.
we had good food. We had plenty of it. Yeah, no, it was good. We had a good time and good friends. All right,
9 stars.
was-
Would casual race again?
Pretty much. Yes, that's the answer. Would casual race
I'm
again.
going right on Yelp. I'm going to add that one right to it now.
Do not, because then people will want to casual race with us, and that's not how it works.
Hey, well, that is awesome. I'm bummed that I wasn't there. It was 2 races I missed that this past weekend.
Went mental. Will we see you this year at a 3 p.m. race?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
We will see. We will see.
Cool.
What about you? Were you at Pitt Race? Did you have a great time? Did you have a crappy time? Did we get one of these stories wrong? Correct us. Get a hold of us on any of our social medias or drop us a line or even just tap something down there in the doodly doo. Right now, I think unless we've got anything else, we're going to move on to everyone's favorite segment with their least favorite person that they want to host the segment. It's time for
Just the tip.
You could still text me at I'll go through the number later when I read it, but our friend Brian from the Hack Factory Racing, also known as We Like the Tuna here, but yes, they're Hack Factory. Thank you for fixing that, whoever. But he actually turns wrenches for a living, like professionally. This is his job. And he sent us this, opened up and shared this. Hey, Mental, I've got just the tip for you this week. I don't know if you've ever seen videos of people heating up the dipstick tubes and such, and then having the valve covers explode in their face. No, I have not. I do not want to see that kind of thing. That sounds
No.
awful.
No.
But he was heating up a broken valve cover bolt next to an open cylinder head and actually had an explosion and fireball in his face. To quote him, learn from my mistakes. I'm just pissed off myself because I should have known better, and tell Chrissy I did have my safety glasses on.
Thank goodness.
Good thing, because you can see his
Oh
fringed
my-
eyebrows and
Exactly.
fringed hair. So those safety glasses,
Hey,
There you go.
Yeah, and his
And
forehead's
in the
all
picture
is,
we have in
is
there,
like
yes,
sunburnt.
he shared it with us. His forehead is sunburned, and you can see his eyebrows are singed. I'm glad he got to keep them all. Otherwise, he would just walk around like he was surprised all the time. And his hair is singed.
Just
I
a
would,
little shorter.
yeah, if I had that much singed hair, I might actually cry. So
Oh, that would stink too.
Yeah, that'd be awful. That's
So
frightening.
we're really glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing us. He's up there. He's up the north, like towards Connecticut. So he's probably still a little cold, and he's working in a smaller space with what he thought all the flammable stuff was removed. But if you're heating things up, man, get into a well ventilated area. Make sure you got some airflow, and remember, stuff will ignite in a heartbeat, and it's never what you expect. To blow up.
Thanks for sharing,
Just-
Brian. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all about having people learn from our mistakes, and we make plenty. So you're right along with our ethos there. Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Yes. And we are really, really glad you're okay. And with that, do we have any idea what we're going to be talking about next week? I'm going to be out of town, so this will be even a less professional episode, but I think we're going to
Who
make it
knows?
happen. Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
But
come up
All
with-
right.
in the
And
meantime,
if you've got a
hey,
show
thanks.
idea, let us know.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're going to read it. Go for it. It's
Well,
all
it,
you.
it goes better if when the sound is in the mic is also the person talking. So, hey, thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe, totally free. You get what you pay for. Then go to iTunes and please give us a 5-star rating. Even if you don't really like us, give us the 5 stars and tell us why, and we will absolutely read that on the show. We've done it before. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop us a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us, everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text mental pictures of your junk, 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram and Twitter, everyone.racers, YouTube, Facebook, Everyone Racers, Reddit is /E1R if you venture into that cesspool. So thanks again, everyone. And till next week, keep the shiny side up. Unless, like us, it's covered in axle grease, then just keep the wheels down. Bye.